Right, our focus, of course, is on the fifth phase of Lok Sabha elections. Voters from 49 constituencies across 5 states and 2 union territories are deciding the fates of many key leaders today, union ministers and party chiefs. Now, among some of the big faces in the fray are Smriti Irani, Rahul Gandhi, Rajnath Singh, Omar Abdullah, Piyush Goyal, among others. In fact, Piyush Goyal and Rohini Acharya being Lalu Prasad Yadav's daughter, they are making their electoral debut today. Some of the key seats are Amethi and Rai Bareli, Kaisarganj and Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh, Saran and Hajipur in Bihar, and Mumbai. Of course, all the 6 Lok Sabha seats in Mumbai are voting today. In fact, the voter turnout till 9 a.m. is around 10.3%. For this is an all-India figure till 9 a.m. for phase 5 of elections. Right, but as we take a look at all the key states and key constituencies which are voting today, we will begin our coverage with Mumbai, where I mentioned that all 6 Lok Sabha seats in Mumbai are seeing voting today. There are 116 candidates in the fray in Mumbai. It's a Mahayuti versus MVA showdown, and it's very crucial because this is the final phase of elections as far as Maharashtra is concerned. But at the end, it is, of course, ending with some of the top seats. The focus, of course, as I said, is on Mumbai. And I'm joined by my colleagues Radhika and Abira. Radhika being in Malabar Hill in South Mumbai, and Abira joining me from Juhu in Mumbai. Thanks to both of you for joining us. So first, coming to you, Radhika, you are, of course, in Malabar Hill, which was one of the main seats. We saw Piyush Goyal, in fact, casting his vote a short while back over there. He spoke to you. We will be playing out that chat in a bit. But Radhika, coming to you, this is the final push, the final phase of elections in Maharashtra, and Mumbai being in the focus. It's the urban voters who are in focus. But which candidates seem to have the edge as far as the urban seats in Maharashtra are concerned?
That's right. 13 seats going to polls from Maharashtra. Yes, this is the final phase as far as the state is concerned, and the important 6 constituencies from Mumbai going to polls. And I'm in an affluent constituency of Malabar Hill, of South Bombay in particular, where Piyush Goyal did cast his vote sometime back. We did see BJP leader Shaina NC also casting her vote, and several from this particular place. But now let me show you, the queue is still not as long as we thought it would be, because it's post 10, but not as many voters as one would like. 6.3 is the voter turnout till 9 a.m. Let me just see if I can get some word in from a few voters. Hello, can I just have a word with you? Did you just vote?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, so just one word, just one sentence. So, yeah, so not much of a voter turnout here in this affluent constituency. Why is that? That happens every...
I guess it's still early hours. Still early to tell, yeah.
So you just cast your vote, you came in nice and early. So what are you voting for? What are the issues that you're voting for? What changes would you like to see in your constituency?
Just the general civic issues. You know, someone who's going to look after the city and has a vision for the city as opposed to just development.
All right, so, somebody with a vision specifically for the city.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. So that's one voter that we just spoke to. Not too many voters here that we can really interact with, but vision for the city is something that he said. Yes, sir. So you came in early to vote.
Yep.
What is happening with your area? Not too many people voting.
People will be coming.
Is there, no?
Okay,
After 6, yeah.
Gradually they'll be coming.
After 4, they will come. So many will come.
Yeah?
Yeah.
After 4. So not early. So early hours not for Mumbaikars.
Housewives have the work, ne? And the gents also have the work. So their finish and will come.
So what are you voting for, sir? What are the issues that you're voting for this time?
For the betterment of our country. The one who is doing better for our country, we'll go with it.
Any changes you'd like to see in your constituency? I mean, obviously, this is a constituency where you have all the political leaders sitting, CMs and, ministers.
The only thing we regret is last time we voted for Shiv Sena, and our vote went to dustbin only.
Okay.
So I wish that this time it doesn't happen again.
Right. So that's an interesting sentiment there. Thank you, sir. So that's an interesting sentiment we are getting from a lot of voters, that their vote went waste. Their mandate was not respected. The ones that they voted for and won are not sitting in power anymore. This is something that a lot of people are telling us. Perhaps the reason why people are not coming out to vote in large numbers because there is confusion among the voters about this whole splits that have taken place and change in government, despite the fact that they did select or elect one particular party or a candidate from
Right.
their constituency. But all that became topsy-turvy. So one of the reasons, and of course the heat and the long weekend are definitely reasons why urban voters are not coming out to vote. But let's see how the day progresses and let's see if the numbers pick up.
That is, of course, one of the concerns in Mumbai. It's a long weekend for some, maybe, but we're still hoping that the voter turnout will increase in Mumbai. It's currently for Maharashtra, not just Mumbai, at 6.3% till 9 a.m., but we hope that's going to pick up a lot. Thank you, Radhika. Stay with us. Let's also play out that exclusive conversation that you had with Piyush Goyal, making his electoral debut this time around for Lok Sabha polls, speaking to you earlier today.
Your appeal to the urban voters of Mumbai.
I'm delighted to see the response and I'm very confident that we will see a record turnout in Mumbai. All Mumbaikars are going to come out in large numbers and decide the fate, the future and the glory of India.
Do you think the turnout will be more than the last time?
I'm
Because
very confident.
looks like the splits have led to a lot of
I'm
confusion.
confident the turnout will be the highest and everybody is super excited because this election is about the country's future and we all want to be a part of a glorious future for the nation.
Right, and Abira is joining me from Juhu. Abira, Juhu is the area where a lot of celebrities live. So are you star spotting this morning?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. Since morning, I thought the celebs would be getting up early and coming in before they're hounded by fans around. But no, nothing, no one. I met Paresh Rawal. I spoke to him. He spoke about the issues that he is addressing and why he's voting. But other than that, there's no one yet. We are waiting for Bachchan sir and his family. We are waiting for Anil Kapoor sir. While I know that he's going to come after 11, we are waiting for Roshans, but no one yet. Like my colleague Radhika said, the turnout is not very impressive. Mostly senior citizens we are seeing around in wheelchairs or being assisted inside, but not very impressive turnout. We are still waiting for celebrities to come in, and it is said that Mumbai doesn't wake up early and it's a long weekend. Monday, everybody has taken an off for the voting. So, yeah, we are just waiting now.
That's right. Welcome back. Now on to the other battleground state of Uttar Pradesh, where 14 seats in Uttar Pradesh are voting today. Of course, the main ones, the big hot seats of Amethi, Raebareli, those are the big ones which are also seeing voting today. But apart from that, there are other key hot seats like Lucknow and Ayodhya, where there's elections taking place today. Let's take a look at some of the main reactions, political reactions coming in from Uttar Pradesh.
मैं आज सभी भारतीयों से, हिंदुस्तानियों से निवेदन करती हूं कि आप शीघ्रातिशीघ्र अपने मतदान केंद्र पर जाकर इस उत्सव में सहभागी बने। भारत और भारत के भविष्य के प्रति ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, इसका निर्वहन करें।
मतदाताओं से ये जोर अपील करती हूँ कि वो भी अपना वोट डालने जरूर अपने अपने पोलिंग बूथ पर जाएं। सभी पार्टियों को ये कहना है कि उनको देश और जनहित के जो मुद्दे हैं उनको प्राथमिकता देनी चाहिए। चाहे बीजेपी है, कांग्रेस है, सभी पार्टियां दावा करती हैं कि हम सरकार बना रहे हैं, लेकिन जब रिजल्ट आएगा तब मालूम पड़ेगा कि सरकार कौन सी पार्टी बना रही है।
I'm joined by my colleague Ranveer, who is at Raebareli this morning. Ranveer, of course, Raebareli and Amethi are the two biggest seats in Uttar Pradesh, among the big seats in Uttar Pradesh, and both of them are seeing voting today. In terms of the voters' mood on ground, what are you picking up?
See, I am in Raebareli and you can see this crowd. We are seeing that people of Raebareli, they are coming out of from their homes and they are in a queue for voting. And we talked about voting, about the agenda. So people want development. This is the first agenda. And Dinesh Pratap Singh, the BJP candidate from Raebareli, he was in at the booth, and when I asked about election agenda, he directly attacked Gandhi family and said why Gandhi family avoids taking name of Firoz Gandhi. So direct attack for Rahul Gandhi, and as per sources, Rahul Gandhi is almost arriving in Raebareli in few minutes. So Rahul Gandhi will be in Raebareli, though he is not a voter here, but still. Just to see the preparedness of the elections, Rahul Gandhi will arrive here by 11 a.m. and Dinesh Pratap Singh, he is also roaming at different booths. So since morning we can see these queues, and the main agenda is development, of course, but BJP this time want to repeat the history of Amethi in 2019. So this is a big one, because Rahul Gandhi, this is his first election from Raebareli. Initially in 2019, Rahul Gandhi was a candidate of Congress party from Amethi and lost his election from Smriti Irani. But this time Sonia Gandhi, who campaigned for Rahul Gandhi here in Raebareli and appealed to the voters. A few voters are here. I'll talk to them. Sir, क्या सोच के आप लोग वोट देते हैं?
राष्ट्रवाद और प्रधानमंत्री की वो नीतियां जिसके द्वारा देश लगातार उत्तरोत्तर विकास कर सके. इट इज माय ओपिनियन दैट वी हैव वोटेड फॉर नेशनलिज्म एंड ऑल टाइप ऑफ. We want to free our nation from all type of terrorism. We want integrity, dedication towards our country, for our Prime Minister.
So I can say that you are a nationalist.
Yes.
Okay. I'll talk to some other one. मैम, क्या सोच के वोट देती हैं आप लोग? क्या चाहती हैं? सरकारों से क्या चाहती हैं?
अरे कुछ नहीं चाहते हैं, सब अच्छा रहे और क्या.
विकास?
हाँ, विकास अच्छा हो.
आप लोग भैया वोटर हो फर्स्ट टाइम?
जी, फर्स्ट टाइम नहीं, 2 बार हो चुका है मेरा.
क्या आप लोग सोच के वोट करने आते हैं?
वो वोट ही सोच के देते हैं जो हमारे देश की रक्षा करे, उससे वोट देते हैं.
आप बताएं सर, आप लोग के लिए क्या रहता है चुनाव? मतलब आप लोग वोट देने आते हैं क्या सोच के?
क्या सोच के आते हैं?
मतलब आपके लिए इलेक्शन का एजेंडा क्या होता है?
ठीक है, बढ़िया.
ठीक, क्या चाहते हैं सरकार जो बनेगी उससे?
जो सरकार बनेगी वही बनना ठीक है.
बदलाव जी.
आपके लिए क्या है? विकास है?
विकास, शिक्षा, रोजगार और जी.
So you can see people of Raebareli, they are here for voting. I'm in Bachrama area of Raebareli. In the morning I was in Raebareli Sadar, where Dinesh Pratap Singh was attacking the Gandhi family, and Congress leaders are saying that Rahul Gandhi will be arriving in Raebareli few minutes.
Right, Ranveer, thank you so much. But stay with us. I'm also joined by Himanshu Shekhar from Lucknow. And in fact, coincidentally, we also have Rajnath Singh shots coming in of Rajnath Singh voting there. He's, of course, seeking re-election in Lucknow. If I can go across to Himanshu. Himanshu, this is, of course, the big urban seat in Uttar Pradesh. What's the turnout like this morning?
Well, the first 2 hours, the turnout is around 13% in Uttar Pradesh, but only 10.39% in Lucknow, a little less than the UP average. Just behind me, you can see is the polling booth where Rajnath Singh has just gone inside to vote. This is Scholars Home School in Vipul Khand, Gomti Nagar, Lucknow, a VVIP area, and Rajnath has just gone inside to vote. We'll show you the visuals once he's just about to come out any time now. Actually, Lucknow has been a BJP stronghold since 1991, when Vajpayee won the first Lok Sabha elections from Lucknow. And then in the next 5 elections, Lok Sabha elections in Lucknow, Vajpayee won 1991, 1996, 1998, 1999 and 2004. And then Lalji Tandon won this seat in 2009, and Rajnath Singh then in 2014 and 19 has won this seat. So in last 33 years, the last 8 Lok Sabha elections has been won by the BJP. And Rajnath Singh is now in fray for the 3rd consecutive time from this VVIP seat. And in the last 2 elections, he had got around 54% votes in 2014, around 56% votes in 2019. And this time, BJP leaders here are claiming that Rajnath Singh's victory margin is only expected to go up. And clearly, a party which has not lost a single election in Lucknow since 1991 is, of course, this is a stronghold, BJP stronghold. The party workers here are waiting for Rajnath Singh to come out, and clearly Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, the voters that I have spoken to here have said that Rajnath Singh has in fact worked hard for the welfare of the people here in this constituency, and this is one reason why he won handsomely in both 2014 and 2019 Lok Sabha elections. In fact, Rajnath Singh has gone inside with his family.
Right.
His wife is also with him, and there are UP BJP leaders who are outside. You can see there's a crowd of party workers and supporters who are waiting here. Have you all voted?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, we voted.
For women like you in Lucknow, what is the most important issue this time elections?
I don't think so, because here the developments are happening. Okay, women are, I think they are developing in every field now. So I don't think so.
I'm saying what is the main issue? What are the expectations of women in Lucknow from the new government that will be formed? What do you want the new government to do?
More, seats should be reserved in other companies for the women, like for the government, public sector.
Okay.
More
Okay.
seats should
मैडम
be
आपकी क्या उम्मीद है नई सरकार से?
हमें तो है बस यही कि हम लोग को मतलब देश की सुरक्षा चाहिए।
देश की सुरक्षा, हाँ? क्यों महत्वपूर्ण है ये?
ये महत्वपूर्ण है कि वही कर सकते हैं, बाकी और कोई नहीं, जो जिनका विकास हो रहा है।
आपने भी मतदान किया है?
हाँ, मैंने भी किया।
क्या सोचकर मतदान किया?
मैंने भी यही सोचा है कि अपनी लखनऊ, स्पेशली मैंने लखनऊ की तरफ से करा है, तो यहाँ पे वुमेन की सेफ्टी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। रात में भी ऑफिसेज से अगर घर जा रही हैं तो उनको कैब वगैरह में सुरक्षा मिले। और जैसे अभी मेरी दीदी हैं, ये लखनऊ दिल्ली से आई हैं वोट देने, इनका छोटे लड़की है 6 महीने की, तो उनको छोड़ के आई हैं। उसी तरह लखनऊ में भी हर घर से महिला आए और वोट दे।
You have travelled from Delhi to Lucknow to vote.
From today's flight I came, and afternoon flight I'm going back to Delhi, and I have a small kid of 6 months, so I just left her home and I came just here to support our government to vote, because every vote is very important. So that's why I'm here to vote.
Right, and this is an inspirational story, an effort made by a mother to leave her child in Delhi to come here to vote. Clearly, there is enthusiasm this time. Lucknow, of course, had voted around 53-54% in 2019 election. It is expected that the number might go up this time.
Right, Himanshu Shekhar there reporting from Lucknow. Thank you so much for joining us there, both Ranveer and you. Also, I would like to point out Eknath Shinde there, the Maharashtra Chief Minister, voting in Thane. Those visuals also coming in. In the studio, I am joined by Ms. Aarti Jerath, senior journalist. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us this morning. Ma'am, my first question to you, if we just focus on UP to begin with, do you think Raebareli is a cakewalk for Rahul Gandhi?
It should be. But, you know, and elections are unpredictable, so I don't want to say anything. But, you know, what is interesting is actually the legacy battle in Raebareli and Amethi. It's a very key thing, because even if Rahul wins Raebareli, which is what is the expectations, but we'll have to see, wait till June 4th for the exact result. The key question really is, who is going to win Amethi? You know, I mean, Smriti Irani is there seeking a second term, and there is a Gandhi family loyalist in the fray. The Gandhis themselves have chosen not to fight this seat. So I think really the question here is, can the Gandhis retain that bastion? Even if they put up a, you know, a proxy candidate, can they retain that bastion? So it's a legacy issue. You know, these are the two main family seats in UP. And are they going to be able to retain them both? You know, then we'll know really, you know, how strong the Gandhis still are in that area which has been theirs for the last 30 years.
Right. But ma'am, the fact that they gave up Amethi, in a sense, a non-Gandhi has been fielded from there. Is that something which has affected the ground workers of Congress? Because they had been hoping and waiting for a long time for the announcements to come. In Raebareli, yes, maybe to some extent they have been, you know, reassured in a way. But the fact that a non-Gandhi was fielded in Amethi, is that dampened the, you know, Karyakarta, the Congress Karyakarta in Uttar Pradesh?
Well, I mean, I think it has been a bit of a disappointment, which the family has tried to address by parking Priyanka Vadra in the two constituencies through the entire campaign. And she has really been slogging, campaigning for KL Sharma in Amethi, basically trying to send a message that, this may be a proxy candidate, it's not a Gandhi, but the family is here with you, with the voter. So, don't forget that we are still with you. So this is the message she's been trying to send across. Now, the question is, have voters bought into that message? I really don't know. There is also, I don't know, maybe a certain degree of anti-incumbency. The sitting MPs do suffer from a degree of anti-incumbency. So, we'll have to see, how these two play out against each other. This attempt by Priyanka Vadra to reassure the voters that the family is still very much there. And, if at all there is an anti-incumbency against Smriti Irani, how does it play out?
Right. Ma'am, shifting our focus to Mumbai now, the Sena versus Sena or the NCP versus NCP fight has of course been one of the main features in Maharashtra this time around. But the fact is that this time around, this phase is seeing the urban seats, primarily all the 6 seats in Mumbai and even the suburbs of Kalyan and Thane voting. Is that confusion of the party split going to be more pronounced as far as urban voters are concerned? Because we were hearing even from our reporter, one of the people who spoke to her said that I was disappointed the fact that the candidate I voted for, the later switched sides. So is that going to be more pronounced in urban seats in Mumbai? Because they are hopefully more aware. Possibly it's not just sentiments or emotions which are coming into play. It's a more conscious decision maybe the urban voters are taking in terms of selecting their candidate. But the party split, is that going to be an issue which is more pronounced in Mumbai, UP?
Well, I would think so. And again, just like Raebareli and Amethi is a legacy battle for the Gandhis, Mumbai in particular is a legacy battle for the Sena. Sena is Mumbai is the birthplace of the Shiv Sena. This is where Bal Thackeray founded his Shiv Sena. And the Shiv Sena has shaped Maharashtra politics for the last 3 decades. Now, unfortunately, there was a split 2 years ago. And, I think the whole thing is both sides are trying to prove which is the real Sena. In Mumbai, of the 10 seats, 6 main Mumbai seats and the 4 in the greater metropolitan area, of these 10 seats, 5 are seeing Sena versus Sena battles. So, it's a very, very key phase for the Shiv Sena, for the future of the Shiv Sena. Which faction is going to prove that it is the real Sena? Prime Minister Modi already announced that the Uddhav Thackeray faction is the Nakli Sena. Right. So, which Uddhav Thackeray is now contesting. But yes, I do agree with you. I think, in Maharashtra, across the board, there's been a lot of disillusionment in voters at the way politics has shaped out over the last 5 years, with the kind of first you have one government, then you have another government, then you have one alliance, then you have another alliance, you have splits in parties. I think it's really left the voter very confused and very disillusioned with politics. And obviously this disillusionment would be higher in urban areas, and particularly in Mumbai, where everything has played out, in full view of everybody. Right. So, yeah, I think it's going to influence. And then, of course, there's this other strange thing that has been done, that they have made voting day on Monday. Yeah. So, you actually get a long weekend. And given the fact that Mumbai has traditionally registered very low turnouts, was it a really good idea to give them a long weekend? Exactly. Yeah, that's a gamble that they took. Ma'am, stay with us. I'm also joined by my colleague Saurabh Gupta, who is reporting from Hooghly, from Barakpur, I believe, rather. And it's the industrial belts in Bengal which are, voting today. It's Hooghly, Barakpur, which are located close to Kolkata, the main urban seat in Bengal. One of the key hot seats in Bengal is Barakpur as well. Saurabh, what do you have for us?
Well, I'm still in Hooghly. I have to cross over the river and then I'll reach Barakpur. But, you mentioned the industrial belts, and that's important because as I was driving down this road, the Shahganj factory was on my left, and that's been a poll issue as well. Lack of employment, lack of jobs, shut down factories, jute mills, those have been real voting issues in this constituency. And, this is still Hooghly, long lines, voters still turning up. The weather thankfully is gotten cloudy from that very bright sun, so hopefully the weather will not keep voters indoors. I voted early in the morning, and of course, here's the proof here's the proof that, well, obviously you can see the weather and all of that, but here's the proof that I voted early in the morning, very early. And that's an appeal to everyone who has to vote today, whether it's Mumbai, Hooghly, Barakpur, wherever you are. It is the civic responsibility, it is the duty of every citizen to go and vote, and please go and vote whenever convenient. But having said that, this is a constituency that's also seeing a battle of star power in this seat, Lokit Chatterjee versus Rachna Banerjee. On the other side of the river is the Barakpur seat, where we have Arjun Singh versus Parth Bhomik. Both seats are seats that we've covered in detail. And these are, of course, important elections because, like I said, we are now moving into the slogovers. We are in and around surrounding areas of Kolkata. Then, of course, we go into the Jongol Mahal in the next phase, which is Midnapur, Jhargram, Purulia, Bakuria, the tribal belts. And then you come into Kolkata urban, all the Kolkata and its nearby constituencies, including the main constituency. So these are the slogovers. West Bengal has voted, unfortunately, in every phase. The logic, the reasoning behind that is there's a lot of security required. In fact, in every polling booth, it's manned by central security forces. Every polling station is manned by central security forces.
Right.
And unfortunately, Bengal's had a history of violence during elections. But hopefully, voting has been more peaceful comparatively this time, and we really hope it continues that way.
Right. Saurabh, we'll of course keep coming back to you. Thank you so much for joining us there from Hooghly. We have very less time, ma'am, but I wanted to get one answer from you in terms of Bengal. How is the fact that the first certificates of CA were given out recently? How is that going to play out in Bengal this phase, especially because one of the seats, Bongaon, is one of the areas where they are targeting that vote base?
Absolutely, the Matua community, which is the most dominant community in that seat. And I think the government went out of its way to give the certificates in time for the elections, basically to sort of say that we fulfilled a promise, to you, and we've done it. But there are a lot of complications in this CAA. Firstly, the year of is I think been set for 2004 or 2005 or something like that. Okay. It's a question of also having all the papers with them. I was reading reports about many people saying that we don't know whether we have all the documents. We are now desperately scrambling to get all the documents together so that we can get our citizenship papers. So I think it's still a very grey area whether the CAA will actually work on the ground. But yes, it is a promise that the BJP has fulfilled. And I'm sure it's gone down very well with the Matua community, which has been pressing for it for a long, long time. Right.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. We'll, of course, keep coming back with more analysis, more insights into this phase of elections. But for the moment, we'll slip into a short break. Shifting our focus back to elections. This is, of course, just the first few hours of elections that we are reporting on. And several key states, several hot seats which are going to polls, which are voting today. Currently, the voting is underway. And one of the main areas where we are covering the elections today is, of course, in Mumbai, where all 6 Lok Sabha seats of Mumbai are voting. But the main focus and the main angle, of course, in Mumbai always is the urban voter apathy, whether people will come out in numbers or not. Both our reporters who were there on ground were, in fact, saying that the numbers a very thin line at the moment as far as polling booths are concerned, but there are several big faces, including the Maharashtra Chief Minister there, who's come out to vote early this morning. Let's also take a look at some top reactions which are coming out from Mumbai.
Your appeal to the urban voters of Mumbai.
I'm delighted to see the response, and I'm very confident that we will see a record turnout in Mumbai. All Mumbaikars are going to come out in large numbers and decide the fate, the future and the glory of India.
Do you think the turnout will be more than the last time? Because looks like the splits have led to a lot of confusion.
I'm confident the turnout will be the highest, and everybody is super excited because this election is about the country's future and we all want to be a part of a glorious future for the nation.
निर्णय लेने पड़ते वो हमारी सरकार ने लिए हुए, मोदी जी सरकार ने 10 साल में लिए, इसलिए वोट पूरी तरह महायुति को महाराष्ट्र की जनता देगी। ये चुनाव में भारी वोटों से हमारे महायुति के कैंडिडेट नरेश मस्के जीतेंगे।
मुझे लगता है इस वक्त बहुत ज़्यादा निकलेंगे। आज सुबह देखिए, सुबह के 7 बजे मैं यहाँ पहुँच गया था। सुबह 7 बजे पोलिंग बूथ खुल गया था। करीबन 500-600 लोग अंदर मैंने खुद देखे हैं, तो अच्छा ही होगा।
You see, along with my family, we cast our vote today. It's a very proud moment for every Indian. It's a moment of pride to participate in an election of 140 crore people. And if I remember correctly, about 97 crore voters. And just think about the logistics and the arrangements which go into it. The process of voting today was very smooth. And I would like to congratulate the Election Commission of India and all the officials who have been working throughout the country, and in particular in this polling booth where I had the experience, for the excellent arrangements.
Right, those are of course some of the top voices. The RBI governor there speaking about voting there. In fact, we have seen a number of celebrities, a number of top voices from Mumbai over the past few days have been urging voters to come out and vote. As we were seeing our reporters there and even analysts there mentioning the fact that the voting date in Mumbai has been kept on a Monday. A lot of people might take that as a long weekend. That is, of course, one of the apprehensions as far as Mumbai is concerned. But the hope, of course, is that there will be the number of people who are voting in Mumbai will go up as the day progresses. But the other big state which is voting today, and some of the big seats, the big hot seats which are voting, is in Uttar Pradesh, where Amethi, Raebareli, those are of course the big bastion seats, or one of them of course not with the Congress government or with the Gandhi family anymore, but Raebareli there where Rahul Gandhi is contesting the elections. This is the second parliamentary seat that he's contesting from. Amethi also voting today. Besides those two big seats, there's Ayodhya, the temple town of Ayodhya, that will also, of course, that is seeing voting today, as well as in Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh, where voting is currently underway. Let's take a look at some reactions coming in from there.
मैं आज सभी भारतीयों से, हिंदुस्तानियों से निवेदन करती हूं कि आप शीघ्रातिशीघ्र अपने मतदान केंद्र पर जाकर इस उत्सव में सहभागी बने। भारत और भारत के भविष्य के प्रति ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है, इसका निर्वहन करें।
मतदाताओं से ये जोर अपील करती हूँ कि वो भी अपना वोट डालने जरूर अपने अपने पोलिंग बूथ पर जाएं। सभी पार्टियों को ये कहना है कि उनको देश और जनहित के जो मुद्दे हैं उनको प्राथमिकता देनी चाहिए। चाहे बीजेपी है, कांग्रेस है, सभी पार्टियां दावा करती हैं कि हम सरकार बना रहे हैं, लेकिन जब रिजल्ट आएगा तब मालूम पड़ेगा कि सरकार कौन सी पार्टी बना रही है।
All right, so live visuals coming in also of Hema Malini casting her vote. This is possibly Mumbai. And of course, Hema Malini, was a candidate from Mathura as well, where she's seeking a re-election from Uttar Pradesh. An interesting battle in Mathura. Mathura has already voted in the past phase, but Hema Malini there casting her vote. Tanishq Punjabi is also live with us. So Tanishq, interesting there that Hema Malini casting a vote, though Mathura has already gone to polls. But where you are, Amethi, that is a big focus today in Uttar Pradesh. Smriti Irani cast a vote, exuding great confidence. But what are voters saying? Because a lot of the voters that you've been speaking to them, the Gandhi surname still matters to an extent, despite the fact that you don't have any of the Gandhis in the fray.
Yes, of course. But first, Vedant, I would like to give you an update. As the day passes, the temperature, the voter turnout has, of course, decreased here, as we can see, because of the weather, as the temperature increased. But there were, of course, huge queues in the long queues in the morning. We saw this is where Smriti Irani casted her vote. But I have with me some of the local residents of Amethi. आपका नाम?
मेरा नाम प्रेमा देवी।
प्रेमा देवी जी, क्या मुद्दे हैं इस बार आपके वोट करने से पहले? आपने क्या सोच के, महंगाई, बेरोजगारी, राम मंदिर, क्या मुद्दे रहे आपके?
अब भैया हम बोले हम माइक में नहीं जान बैठो ना, पढ़ी है ना लिखी है।
मुद्दा जिसका है, जो हमको कैंडिडेट अच्छा लगा उसी को वोट दिए हैं।
हाँ, नहीं, बट मुद्दे क्या रहे हैं आपके कि राम मंदिर
को कि शिक्षा बढ़िया मिले, दवा बढ़िया हो, रोजगार बढ़िया मिले, वही हमारे लिए मुद्दा है।
रोजगार, ये बेसिक मुद्दे आपके।
हाँ, बेसिक।
आपको क्या कहना है?
बस यही चीज़ इनका भी यही चीज़ इनका भी है।
आप लोग इतने समय से अमेठी में रह रहे हैं ना, तो यहाँ पे गांधी परिवार का गांधी सरनेम कितना मैटर करता है? इस बार तो गांधी सरनेम नहीं लड़ रहे हैं यहाँ पे।
अभी हमको नहीं पता है, रहते हैं काफ़ी दिन से, उनका भी था, इनका भी था, सबका।
चलिए, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। So of course you can see over here voters, for them of course basic issues also matter, like employment, like education. All these things are still matter to a lot of voters, be it anywhere. But yes, of course, I'm in Amethi. The number of people turning out to vote has of course decreased because of the rising temperature. Hope it will increase as the weather gets better during the day. Yes.
Right, Tanish there reporting from Amethi. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll of course keep coming back to you for more. And Amethi and Raebareli are of course the two key seats in Uttar Pradesh where we are focusing today. But the other big battleground which is in focus of the state which is in focus is Bengal, where the industrial belt of Bengal is actually voting. There's Hooghly, Barrackpore. Those are some of the areas, and even Bongaon, where that seat is also important in Bengal because CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Act, is in focus in Bongaon in Bengal as well, because it's the Motua community which primarily resides in that seat. And the fact that the CAA first certificates of CAA were given just a few days back is something which is going to resonate in that area in this phase of elections in Bengal. But for the moment, let's take a look at a report sent by my colleague Saurabh from Hooghly. There's elections of the fifth phase of elections in Bengal, where there are 7 seats which are voting today. And as I mentioned that there are key hot seats of Hooghly, Bongaon and Barrackpore which are voting today. And in Hooghly, where my colleague Saurabh was, there's a star versus star election going on, because it's Locket Chatterjee, the incumbent MP of BJP, who's taking on a political debutant but a heavyweight nonetheless, a very popular TV host, Rachana Banerjee from Bengal. Let's take a look at Saurabh's report.
West Bengal votes in all phases of this general election in India, and we of course are seeing voting in several seats around Kolkata. This is of course not Kolkata. Phase 5 is seeing voting in seats like Barrackpore, Hooghly, Uluberia, Howrah, Srirampur and other seats like Arambagh as well, and these are seats that are also closely contested. Now we are in Hooghly at this point, where of course there is a strong contest, star power on display, and today of course the voters decide who wins. And there are other seats like Barrackpore where there are again strong contenders. Voting got off early this morning, and of course there are still lines at voting booths. People are turning up. West Bengal has had history of good voter turnout, and it stays that way, but unfortunately it's also had history of violence during elections, and that's why you see central security forces posted at every polling booth to ensure there is no law and order issue. Now, it was very bright and sunny in the morning, and many thought that it would be a very warm day, but if I can ask my camera person to show you, now of course, you know, the weather has cooled down with the sun disappearing behind the clouds. It's very cloudy, there's some thunder also, but obviously one hopes that it rains very little or doesn't rain, but at least people will come out to vote, and that's the most important thing. You see long lines as of now, and the weather's become extremely nice, so please do come out and vote. That's the appeal that Election Commission has been making, and everyone who's associated with the polling process has been making. It's very important to vote. Long lines in Bengal as usual. Several seats going to polls today in and around Bengal. Lack of jobs, lack of employment, all of these issues are election issues. Several other election issues in a closely fought, contested, bitterly contested election in West Bengal taking place in phase 5 as well. 2 more phases to go for the state of West Bengal, but areas around Kolkata are voting today, and it is a very, very important phase, with these seats also seeing a very bitterly fought contest in the state of West Bengal.
All right, so a hotly contested battle there in West Bengal, as Tanima is pointing out. CAA, of course, is a crucial issue there. But let's take a look also at Maharashtra, which is another big focus on NDTV today. And in Maharashtra, it's mostly the urban constituencies, particularly Mumbai. All seats of Mumbai voting today. A lot of star power with the who's who of Bollywood and the corporate world all coming out to vote. And we can play some of those visuals as well of top Bollywood actors coming out and casting their votes. In fact, of course, a lot is at stake with a Sena versus Sena battle playing out in most of these seats, a direct fight between the two factions of the Shiv Sena. There you can see all top actors coming out and vote. So unlike other Mumbaikars, Bollywood has shown a lot of enthusiasm this morning, early risers there. A good message being sent out amid urban apathy. Radhika Ramaswamy, in fact, is joining us live now. So Radhika, is there, as the temperature rises, are the queues getting even shorter? And what are voters saying as far as the entire confusion over the symbols is concerned? Though I can now see at least some crowds there. The polling booths were largely empty this morning in Mumbai.
That's right, some crowd here at this point. This is Pedder Road, which is close to Malabar Hill. Again, a South Bombay constituency, South Bombay polling booth. This is an important constituency, South Bombay, from where Arvind Sawant is contesting. Two-time incumbent MP from Uddhav Thackeray Sena is contesting against Shinde Sena's candidate. Now, of course, this is a Sena versus Sena battle in South Bombay, just like in many other constituencies within Bombay and within the Mumbai metropolitan region. Let me just show you around. Yes, the crowds have increased. There is, some sort of participation now that we are seeing. Now it is 11 o'clock, post 11. We are seeing, younger people really coming out and voting in large numbers. And of course, we did see in the mornings, of course, it was the elderly, the 60 above that were voting in huge numbers. But in this particular polling booth on Pedder Road, we are seeing some sort of participation, which is better than what we saw at 7 a.m. And as far as the entire confusion over symbols are concerned, when we did speak to a voter this morning, he did refer to how he had voted for one particular candidate. He won, however, his vote had gone to waste as a result of the, change in political landscape. This is a sort of reaction that we are getting from many voters in the city. They feel that their mandate has been disrespected with all these back and forth and all the twists and turns that happened in the last couple of years, including the Sena split as well as the NCP split.
So sorry to interrupt there, but we have live visuals coming in from Amethi where Rahul Gandhi, the Congress contestant from Raebareli, of course, the Congress candidate from Raebareli, but of course, Gandhis have strong links with Amethi there. Rahul Gandhi reaching Amethi. He's just entering. You can see the convoy entering Amethi there, which is also voting today. This is, of course, a former seat of Rahul Gandhi. He is not contesting this time around after the loss in 2019. KL Sharma has been fielded by the Congress, but Rahul Gandhi, and we have seen several other members of the Gandhi family camping there in Amethi and Raebareli over the past few days and campaigning there for Congress, and Rahul Gandhi there at the airport and heading to Amethi. He is expected to reach there in a short while from now. Right, we will keep coming back to all the live pictures coming in from all the battleground states. But for the moment, Radhika was reporting from Mumbai. We'll go back to her, followed by other reporters also standing by. Radhika, yes, continue.
Yeah, wait, let's go to Vishal.
Right, we'll come back to Radhika in a bit. I believe I also have my colleague Abira there reporting from Juhu in Mumbai. And Juhu is, of course, one of the places, one of the areas in Mumbai where a lot of celebrities stay. So there's a lot of celebrities who we have, in fact, seen coming out and voting early this morning in Mumbai. Abira, are the lines getting longer by any chance in Mumbai right now? Right, we seem to have a tech issue with Abira there, but let's listen in to Aditya Thackeray, who's speaking right now.
उतरून मतदान करा, हा तुमचा अधिकार आहे आणि कर्तव्य देखील आहे. एक आहे काही काही ठिकाणी मतदान यादीचा येत असेल, पण आज पण आपण पाहतो इथे थोडं बाहेर सावली वगैरे थोडं तिथे निर्माण करायला पाहिजे त्या मंडपाने. हे निवडणूक आयोगाच्या हातात असतं. थोडंफार आम्ही त्याच्यावर त्यांच्याशी चर्चा करू, पुढे असं घडू नये. अनेक ठिकाणी अजूनही मोठे रांगा आहेत. मतदानाचा टक्का पूर्ण मतदान झाल्यानंतर बाहेर येतो आणि ते होईल.
The reactions, Aditya Thackeray of the UPT Sena there, he is of course one of the key voters there in the morning today in Mumbai. But let's also take a look at some other political reactions coming in from Maharashtra, including that of the Maharashtra Chief Minister.
Your appeal to the urban voters of Mumbai.
I'm delighted to see the response, and I'm very confident that we will see a record turnout in Mumbai. All Mumbaikars are going to come out in large numbers and decide the fate, the future and the glory of India.
Do you think the turnout will be more than the last time? Because looks like the splits have led to a lot of confusion.
I'm confident the turnout will be the highest, and everybody is super excited because this election is about the country's future and we all want to be a part of a glorious future for the nation.
ये लोकशाही का उत्सव है. ये अपना वोट देना हमारा अधिकार है. आपका एक वोट देश को बदल सकता है, देश को विकास की ओर ले जा सकता है. सभी लोगों ने वोट डालना चाहिए. मैं देख रहा हूँ, माहौल देख रहा हूँ, सभी लोग आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी को फिर से प्रधानमंत्री बनने के लिए बहुत आतुर है और इसलिए बहुत जोर से वोटिंग हो रही है. कड़ी धूप में लोग खड़े हैं, सब लोग वोटिंग में आ रहे हैं. ये चित्र बहुत ही आशादायक है और बिल्कुल भारी वोटों से महायुति ये 5वें चरण की सभी सीटें जीतेगी.
Right, that is the Maharashtra Chief Minister there who was speaking, of course, appealing, urging voters to come out in numbers and vote in Mumbai. But the long weekend syndrome seems to be having the upper hand in Mumbai at the moment. But we will keep coming back to Mumbai for more on that. But we are also joined in the studio as well as on live connection with several analysts. There's Sudhir Suryavanshi, a senior journalist who is joining us on the show today. Aditi Fadnis, senior journalist, also on the show with us, and Hilal Ahmed, associate professor of CSDS, also joining us on the broadcast today. So coming first to Hilal Ahmed, sir, we've seen that in Uttar Pradesh, if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, you know, the Amethi, Rai Bareli, these are the two seats in the past, or if we believe at least till Rai Bareli, Gandhi bastions. But the fact that Gandhis have not fielded somebody from the clan in Amethi, do you think that is going to have some sort of an impact as far as Uttar Pradesh, largely for the Congress, is concerned? Because it is a bit demotivating for the grassroots workers as well.
I think if we place this question in the present phase of polling, that makes sense, because in last election in 2019, Rai Bareli was the only seat where Congress won. So therefore there is a symbolic act, and that's the reason why Rahul Gandhi is fielded from Rai Bareli, not Amethi. That's one. Second thing is that if you historically look at the association of family, I think that was that was significantly challenged by BJP in 2014 and 2019. So therefore the idea that it is a family sort of a seat somehow discredited by winning that by Smriti Irani in 2014 and 2019. So therefore, the idea is that Congress would like to keep one of these seats, at the same time want to send the message that it is family as well as an extended way in which democracy can be accommodated in the party. So this is actually some kind of a, I would say, a dual process, dual way of doing politics in electioneering.
Point actually, because if you listen to all the voters also that our correspondent Tanish spoke to, they said that the Gandhi name still matters, and I mean they've been campaigning there as well. So it's perhaps an extension of the clan in a lot of ways. But Aditi Fadnis come in on this. Whenever we talk about Uttar Pradesh, you know, inevitably it's the caste arithmetic that matters the most in Uttar Pradesh, and it trumps all other factors perhaps. This time with the BSP going it alone, you know, the SC vote is as many would say up for grabs. How do you see that playing out as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned? Because the BJP has also extended, also has reached out to the OBCs, to the non-Yadav OBCs, to the non-Yadav SC. So how do you see that playing out, the caste arithmetic in Uttar Pradesh?
Well, if we were to analyze the dominant themes in this election which has just gone past, I think one of the most important themes to which the ruling party as well as the opposition has been harping on is the issue of the changes in the constitution.
Yes.
The Prime Minister has made this point several times, the Home Minister has, etc. And this all came about after 2 or 3 important functionaries in the BJP, including a sitting candidate who's contesting, said that we need to have 400 plus in order to change the constitution and to make amendments in it, which we would not be able to do otherwise. In this context, I think the SC/ST and the Dalit population, which frankly in these days of privatization and in these days of outsourcing, does not really benefit that much from reservation.
Yes.
But still, as somebody who knows about this kind of politics told me, दलित आरक्षण की पूजा करता है लेकिन प्रसाद उसको कभी नहीं मिलता है, लेकिन फिर भी पूजा करता है. So that is a very emotive issue. Dalits have felt very empowered after BSP came to power and formed a government in 2007 in UP. But after that, they have tended to drift away from the BSP, and I think the most pronounced drift has been this election.
Okay.
I spoke to many Dalit families in UP. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them have also voted for the cycle in order that their vote should not be wasted.
And all of their politics is a different shade of the same color now, because with the BJP sort of also expanding its caste umbrella. But Hilal, you wanted to make a point?
Yeah, see, I think we have to also look at the idea of social engineering from the BJP's perspective, because BJP has been trying to reach out to non-Jatav Dalit in a significant way, and that has played a significant role in both assembly election and 2014 and 2019 Lok Sabha election. This time, that we cannot and we should not ignore that factor.
Right. I'm being told at the moment that we also have, we'll keep coming back to our analysts for more, but I'm being told at the moment we are also joined by Nazir from who's tracking the elections in Baramulla, which is one of the main constituencies this time around as well. Nazir, this is of course a battle of the big names in JNK. There's Omar Abdullah versus Sajjad Lone, but also Engineer Rashid throwing in a bit of a surprise there in Baramulla. So in terms of the voter turnout and the mood on ground, what do you have for us?
If any place defines changing situation in Kashmir, it is this. Palhalan in Baramulla. This used to be the stone pelting capital of Kashmir, one of the most vulnerable area as far as law and order situation in Kashmir is concerned. But today, all these people, men and women, they have come out in large numbers to cast their vote today, waiting for their turn. In previous elections, whenever I used to come here, I would see these polling booths were completely empty. Nobody would turn up to cast their vote. But today, they are waiting for their turn to cast the vote. आप बताएं कि क्या मुद्दे हैं इस इलेक्शन में?
जी 2010 के बाद तकरीबन आज यहाँ पर नौजवान जो है जो पूरे अपने ये वोट का इस्तेमाल करना चाहते हैं, बस ये एक वोट ही रहा है हमारे पास कि हम चाहते हैं कि बदलाव हो। यहाँ पर बहुत सारे लड़के हैं जिनको पत्थरबाजी के केस है, वो कोर्टों में हैं, अदालतों में हैं, जिनकी कोई सुन नहीं रहा है। तो अब जो नौजवान यही कहते हैं
यहाँ इसमें सबसे ज्यादा केसेस होंगे लोगों पे,
सबसे ज्यादा पलाल में ही है। आप इस वक्त पलाल में
तो आपके पे भी कोई केस चल रहा है?
मगर शुक्र अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारे तो हो गए अब
हो गए। ठीक, तो आप भी पहली दफा वोट डालने के लिए आए? हाँ, पहली दफा आप वोट डालते थे? इससे पहले आप डालते थे? डालते थे, हाँ। चलो, that is the statement, people who were actually involved in stone pelting. This was actually known for this thing, rather infamous for stone pelting and law and order situation. But today you can see both men and women coming in large numbers to cast their vote, and here people will decide fate of National Conference leader and former Chief Minister Umar Abdullah, and he is pitted against Sajjad Lone of People's Conference. Also there's Engineer Rashid, who is jailed for last 5 years in Tihar jail. They're saying they are coming to vote for the first time. And as I said, if any place defines changing situation in the valley, it is this place, Palhalan, which used to be the boycott capital, which used to be the stone pelting capital of Kashmir, and today people only want to express themselves through vote, cast vote, and become part of the democracy. Back to you.
Right, my colleague Nazir reporting there from Baramulla, and it's very heartening to see, Vedant, that there is a long queue, at least somewhere early this morning. Constantly we are getting reports from Nazir there showing the number of people who are voting out, several of them for the first time in there in Baramulla constituency. I'm also joined by Sudhir Suryavanshi, senior journalist there. Sir, we've also seen in Srinagar this time around there was record turnout in terms of voters. The pictures there are also telling similar story in Baramulla. Several voters there telling my colleague, our reporter there, that they are voting for the first time. How do you interpret this, these elections this time that we are seeing from J&K? The number of people who are coming out to vote, what does this tell us about the situation there and around, especially in the background of abrogation of Article 370?
This is very, good sign that people are coming and voting, because it is very important for the democracy. It will strengthen the democracy, and that is, as one of the voters said, that is only right. It has left to them to cast the vote, and they are exercising that vote, and it is good sign for the democracy. I am sitting in Mumbai also. In Mumbai, if you see in Malabar Hill, Cup Parade and Pedder Road, that is one of the high-profile area and the who's who area of Mumbai, the maximum city and financial capital. There also I have been seeing the big queue. People are coming out in large number and casting their vote in financial capital also and in J&K also. So that is good sign. If you see in the first couple of days there was a argument that the people are not coming out in the scorching heat and there are lower turnout. But if you see this side picture, it's changing and it is very positive sign for the democracy. People are really coming out and exercising their vote, and they will choose their right candidate, they will choose their right government, and I think it is good sign, what I personally feel.
That's right. Quickly, if I can get a word in, because you are sitting in Mumbai, in terms of Mumbai, expected lines, we are not seeing much of a voter turnout, but do you think the fact that the party is split, that confusion is there on ground, that has also added to the disenchantment in Mumbai this time around?
Yes, the split in the party will have definitely, have impact. There are confusion, but in the days of social media and in days of digital age, the reaching out to the voter is not that much an issue which used to be earlier. People can easily reach out to voter within the friction of second. You can reach a large number of people, so that should not be an issue. But it is issue with some section who are not connected to the social media. They don't have the smartphone, or they are not that much part of the daily political or social discussion. There are problems with this, but that section is very minimal section. I have spoken with a couple of people, but that is very, marginal, a very minimal section. But most of the leaders of their political party, they have succeeded reaching out to the people with their symbol. Okay. And earlier there were only 4 major parties, like BJP was there, Congress was there, and NCP was there, and the Shiv Sena were there. Now there are 6 parties, 3 party one side and 3 party other side. Right. Now it is also taste of the which is the real Sena, which is the duplicate Sena.
Yes, so certainly an existential battle there for both the factions of the NCP and the Shiv Sena, and a fascinating contest in Maharashtra there. In so many seats of Mumbai, you have a direct contest between the two factions of the Sena. Who really has the edge? Who is the real Sena? Who is the real NCP? Those are big questions, of course, and this will shape the political discourse in Maharashtra for the coming BMC elections as well. Later this year. We'll slip into a short break now, and there's lots more coming up on the other side.